Okay, so here we have the film. It's inside these holders that I make to hold the film in position. And we're going to create the two negatives that will print together. And you can see that there's a negative that looks more normal, like a photographic negative should look. And then there's a negative that looks just one, it looks a bit wonky, right? It's got odd things going on all over. But really, it's only showing the shadow area. So this section of the negative here is identical to that, but you can see that it's not, you can't see the column here or any of that, just the highlight regions, okay, or the shadow regions of the fillers. So the goal is to strip this image and this image together to paper. So that's what we're about to do now. So I'll move my shadow neg away, and I think the first step is to find out with the paper I'm going to use where it should land, and I can see it's got to land somewhere here. So my negative is going to go into this position here. So I'm trying to figure out where I trim everything. So I just want to make sure I have enough position. This may not make a lot of sense to some people, but it will to others. So now I'm looking at my paper. I'm going to have enough here. So that's good. So I'm going to now punch the paper, get it ready over here, and I'm now ready to go. So my first step is I use pin bars. And these pin bars are made to attach film with tape to each other. So right away, I know I want to be up in this region here. So I'm going to just quickly check to see if I still like that position. And with just one piece of tape, I just hold that into position there. And I put a few small pieces of tape off to my side. And I'm just going to look here, and I'm going to see, double check that my paper will fit nicely. And it does. And I just want to make sure that I got enough room here. I may move this up a little bit. So I'm just going to move this right up to here, right up to the edge. And I'm going to mark an area that I want to trim off. And now I'm going to trim off the unwanted film. So I'm going to put a mark here, here, and here. So you can see there's a pin bar there. I'm going to now cut off that strip here on the original film. And hopefully I will strip them together. So I'm just cutting off the film at that mark, that tape mark. I'll leave a little bit in that you can see it. There it is there. And right now I want it in that position. I'm going to double check again with my paper just to make sure. Yeah, lots of room there. I'm keeping the image on either side of the punch mark. So now I'm going to take this excuse me, into this position. Take off this bottom tape that was on here. So this is film stripping. This is, some people don't do this. They register with the final print and they put the negative over top and they hand position it. I don't like that. I like to have all my registration done in advance so that when I'm making my prints, I'm not stopping to re-register every time I want to put a different color on. I hear about people doing 11 colors or 8 colors on top of a print, and they have to register by eye every single time. I don't know how that's done. I won't argue with the method, but I just don't know how it's done. So now I have this film in position, and I'm going to tape the one film to the pin bar. And there it is. Now, it's sitting on the circular pin, so I can take the edge off, tape that I had on here, and now you can see the negative has a pin bar on it. You put it back on, the middle is a circular pin. The two are oblong on the outside. The oblong allows there to be some movement left to right, but of the film out here, it allows it, when the vacuum comes on, the film has room to move, but the center post holds it in position. Okay, so now we've got our master neg in position. It's called the palladium neg, and you can see that the emulsion is right reading, everything is facing down, which is correct. So now I'm going to get the second negative, which is the shadow neg, and I'm going to use another pin bar that I have here. This is my next pin bar, and I'll put it on top of here, and I'm going to put the shadow neg on top in basic position right now, just basic right now, so that I can trim off the excess. So now you can see I'm going to get rid of that stuff up top by trimming it off. So now you can see the second pin bar is ready to receive it. It isn't taped to anything. And I'm going to position this film exactly over top. And this is where you have to be careful, because obviously your registration will go out. But anybody, all of you that are seeing this video, you know about registering because you've made a lot of gum prints or multiple prints. So you know what's going on here. Is you get right above the film and you look right from the middle. So I'm looking straight down from the middle, and you can see the image go into registration perfectly. Okay, so right away I check my corners, they all look good. You notice I'm not checking my registration marks because I trimmed off the top on the two. On this one in particular, I'm looking at this one, it's in register here. All four corners are registered. And from the middle, I'm using the back of my hand, I'm looking down, and I can see the two films are registered to each other. So now I'm going to tape this top image to the light box so it won't move, and then I can move back and create a bond between the strip and the new film, trying to make sure that I don't cover the pinholes. So there we go, we're stripped together now. And we take off the tape, and now the shadow neg is in position by these pin bars with the negative below. So you put them back on and they're in position. Now on the light units that are over here, there's traveling pin bars that you use with the paper and the pins, and they keep everything together. So now the next stage is to coat the paper. But before I coat the paper, because once you get into large prints, you end up with a lot of wastage if you don't know where you're going to put your marks. So what I do is, with a pencil, I mark the image. So So this is Hanamiel Platinum Rag that I use. I use Arche Platine, Berger, Cot 320, Revere, and this Hanamiel. Currently I've been using Hanamiel. So this is, I name it Monica A, Monica A, Monica A. So now the next stage is to coat the paper, let it dry, and then we process it out.